What were your brothers and sisters? So you were the oldest.
I was the oldest. I have a brother who is 1 year younger than I am. And I have a sister who was Joseph. His name is Joseph Mittelman.
He was 1 year younger than you?
My brother is younger, 1 year younger. Then I have a sister who is 3 years younger. Her name is Frieda Mikulince. And I have a sister who is 6 years younger than I am. Her name is Lily Friedman. And this is it. I have a brother who perished in concentration camp. His name was Moshe.
So 5 kids altogether.
5 kids, yeah. 3 girls and 2 boys.
And Moshe was how much younger than
Moshe
Lily?
was the youngest.
He was born.
I think he was born. He was 8 years old when we went to concentration camp.
So he was born in 36?
Probably, yeah, probably. Yeah, I guess so. In 36, he was born in 36. 36 or 37, something like that. And
so you were
I'm the
12
oldest.
years, 15 years older than her. Him.
Right. I'm the oldest.
13.
When I went to concentration camp, I was already 21 years old.
So, and you said that Malamed used to come to the house.
Yeah, but he was a week by us, a week by another family, and in a week, always for a week he was in one place.
You mean so when it
and
wasn't by you?
teaching in one place, teaching in the
and all the kids.
Yeah, in the shul where we were down.
So all the kids would go there.
All the boys.
And the girls.
And then 2 hours they give every day for the girls. That's how we learned the alibis, and we learned to daven and the bruches and everything. From the rest.
And the Chemish, they didn't teach them.
No, they didn't teach the girls Chemish. No.
So the boys, all the boys, every age went to the same Malamed?
It's the same Malamed.
Starting from what age?
When he was 6 years old, I think they went
Until
6 he was going in school, in public school. I have only public. I went only to public school for 8 years, and I didn't have only just elementary when I was going.
And the boys, they went
And
to public school also.
Also,
So in the when
even
they
the teachers, they had to go to school. 14 years, everybody had to go. And then, in the bigger cities, there were really high schools.
So in the morning you went to public school?
In the public school, and they was learning.
And in the afternoon you went
But
to the
the
Malamed?
Rebbe probably he was learning with some other people, older people a little bit, Well, he had for himself, the Rebbe. But that's how my brother learned to daven and Chemish. And my father was every Shabbos. He forheard them, the boys.
So how did that work? If you had a 6-year-old learning Aleph Beis and a 13-year-old learning Chumash in the same class?
So probably differently. We didn't have to remove them, just one. I don't know how, I don't remember exactly how they made it. But it was a kindergarten. And then later on, when I was bigger already, then came to the public school every Thursday night, a Rebbe, to learn with us a little bit, the history, the Yiddish. I remember the name also, Rabbi Steig. This was for a long time. He came every Thursday night. With the girls, only with the, yeah. I think the boys came also, but the Rebbe, when the Malamed was there, just the younger one, they didn't. The bigger boys didn't learn too much either. Only Hamish. I don't think so. They went to the Gemara.
So till 13 they stayed with the Melamed? Till what age?
Stayed with them.
And then?
Then also, whatever they do, but 13 years the boys still learning. So they were learning. And we had 2 hours, and the Malamed gave us also 2 hours, he gave every day 2 hours. The Malamed.
They gave, in public school they gave you homework?
In the public we had only homework?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course. We learned, it was really very hard. Everything, like in a normal school. But there weren't Yiddish teachers in the public school. Everything was, going.
The teachers were nice to you, or the teachers weren't nice?
The teachers were nice. The teachers didn't, they didn't show that they're such anti-Semites. They probably weren't allowed to do it. But the rest of it, the kids, they never called us different, just the Jew. And over there, they said Jit.
The boys and the girls were in the same class?
In the same school, yeah. And the school was right near us. I could have go home, when there was recess, because it was very, very near, like over here, that's in Judy Rosenfeld, that's all how much it was.
And did you ever go anywhere else, or you always stayed in that town? Did you ever go on the train anywhere?
And but to a little city. And my father had to go. He had to go buy groceries. In the big stores when they sell in wholesale. My father had to go always. But for the groceries you needed stuff. Like I told you, we sold pots and pans and clothing and groceries and everything. And my father was the only one who was going.
So where did he go? What was the closest
He went
place?
all to where Yurzai, Yehuda lived. They went over there. That wasn't too far. That wasn't far, but 20 minutes with the train.
What was the name of the town? The name of the town?
Brezne. You heard probably. But then we went to the capital also. We need more better things and stuff. So we went to Ungvar. My father, he was the one who went.
And you yourself, you went places, or you were always in the town?
I was by my grandmother. When I was 14 years old, I was a whole year by my grandmother. Because I thought that I'm going to learn sewing from my aunt. I told you, my aunt, my father's sister, the youngest one, was sewing. That was the panusa for them.
What was her name?
Shoshi. Middle name, Shoshi.
And she was a seamstress?
Yeah, but a good one. She made very fancy stuff. Before the holidays, before Shviet, before Pesach, before the Shoshone, she always came to us for a few weeks and brought materials and sewed for all of us, for the girls, even for the boys when they were little. She could, for my mother, she sewed. She came for a few weeks. Always.
So what happened? So you thought she would teach you sewing, but?
I was, she was a good aunt. She didn't let me stay over there, and so she sent me with the girls, go over there and go here. So I learned a little bit, not too much. When I came home, so I was learning over there also sewing in my town, from a lady. I don't know too much to sew, I know a little bit. I know fixing, I don't know to do a whole dress. A hem, thing.
How far away did they live? Their town, with your aunt?
Or from
How far? By train?
No, this is far. Probably at least 2 hours.
By train?
More than that, but maybe more. They have
And
to stop. That was Slovakia. and I was in Czechoslovakia. That's more like Karpato-Russen where
And
we
now it's
were.
one thing, now it's one, no?
Slovakia is Slovakia. Bayas, Karpaten is everything on the but the Russian, everything the Russian.
And that was considered a big trip. 2 hours was considered a big trip.
That time. Yeah, with the train, I guess. And my father went few times during the year. First of all, Zadiko was sick, and my father had to go. Even he had over there 2 brothers and a sister in Slovakia, but he wanted to be also with his father. So he went more. But we didn't go a lot. I maybe saw Zadiko altogether 3 times, 4 times, I don't know. And I'm the oldest, so the rest of the kids probably didn't see him at all.
Did they come to you?
Zadiko, no.
Never?
He couldn't, they were old and
They're
sick.
too old.
And Babika also. Just my aunt came, Shoshi, what I told you.
So let's say when your parents, when Zaidi and Babi, they had a baby, let's say. So how did they let them know? They sent a letter? Let's say if they had a baby.
Oh, so yeah, a letter.
A letter?
A letter.
Not
Just a letter, like.
Not a telegram.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So they
just
wouldn't
a
find
letter.
out how long would it take a letter to get there?
I don't think I don't know.
A week?
It took long. The breast could be, and they're not going to be by the breast if it takes a week. I really don't know. I didn't take a week. I don't think so. I didn't take a week.
So when you went there for that year, you didn't come
I
home the
didn't-
whole year?
The whole year I didn't come home. My mother had a brother also over there. So I was a little bit by them, most of the time by Babiko. I moved into Babiko. They thought that I'm going to learn, and Babiko wanted me to come, and my tante also.
So that
Soon
was,
I finished the school, because that's all my elementary. I finished, and they sent me over there. And I think my brother went also later a little bit. But Michalov, like I'm telling you, my mother had a brother over there also. So and he had another grocery, he had a delicatessen, all kind of things. And whenever I went in park over there with the girls, he saw me going, I went near the store, so he packed me a package. He never came back here from concentration camp.
what,
My
lang-
mother has few brothers.
what language your main language was
Yiddish.
Yiddish? That was the main
Yiddish.
language?
Well, between us kids, we were speaking Czech.
Between the kids?
Between the kids. But the parents at the house, just Yiddish. Just Hungarian, I learned in concentration camp from the girls.
So your parents, you spoke,
They spoke Hungarian.
they spoke Hungarian?
They were Hungarian, before 1930, before the Czech came, there was Hungarian over there also. I don't remember that. I just know one thing, that the Hungarian, the Czech went away in 1939 and the Hungarian came. But my mother spoke Russian and Czech and Hungarian, and my father also, and Yiddish.
Well, you didn't speak
And my
Russian?
German also a little bit, my father.
Because of business? That's how we learned it?
In Slovakia they learn German a lot, the Jewish people also. And Yiddish, in the from houses they were spoken in Yiddish.
And that town in Bresna, how many years
Over
ago?
there was a lot of Yidden. There was more Yidden over there. You know, like when we needed a coat to make, you couldn't buy a coat over there. It's for us, for the girls, or clothing. My father used to go with us for the clothing, not my mother. She always had a baby, she didn't want to leave it. But my father he liked good stuff, and he went all the way shopping with us, with the girls and with the boys.
How many shuls were there by you in the town?
Where I lived,
Yeah.
it was one shul.
One shul.
It wasn't really a real shul, it was in a house by somebody, a room. That's all what I do.
Was there a Rav?
No, a shoichet. And the shoichet was a roof also.
It was the Rav and the Sheikhet and the Mayal
In the beginning, it was a shoichet later on. In the beginning, we didn't even have a shoichet. A shoichet came once in a week from Zaydistan, Yehudas, from not Berezna, from Berezna. Once in a week, Wednesday night.
And you went around to all the houses?
No, he stayed in one place and everybody brought up. Let me tell you something. We didn't only had chickens or a goose or a turkey, but we had to, we had shuv, how you call shuv? A little cow, kelbla.
Okay.
Yeah, we always had a lot of random flies, during the week. Not a whole cow, a big one, and even that, not everything is kosher, everywhere we have to sell for a guy. I don't know exactly the back or the front from.
So you ate meat during the week?
Every night we had meat. Lunchtime we had dairy. Every single night we had meat. With a lot of meat. We made, gereicht Fleisch. We had a little room and there was a fire and we put a whole smoked things. Smoke all kind of things. We had to. First of all, the Goyim didn't pay always with money. They brought us, we have to, do something with it. We couldn't keep so much.
They made you in chickens.
So, and the shoichet came every week, and then he was over there already. So he was doing, and my uncles, my mother's brothers, they know how to tribe it. They, you have to know how, to tribe it, what it means.
To clean the feathers?
No, the cow, the little cows, how you call the little cow, the kelbla. In Yiddish it calls a kelb. So they have to tribe it. Not everything is kosher. You have to take out others from. And my uncles, all my mother brothers, knew how to do it. So they came, when the shofet was there, they came right away. They did the rest of it. And then we had that machzan, what I told you, what is called, that was full of meat, of chicken, of goose. We couldn't keep so much in them, so we have to do something with it. And half of it went anyway, half of it wasn't kosher.
So it started, and then you got a sheikhet.
That was not sure. The shofet was a Rabbi also. But that was very, very late already, very little we had the shofet. We had a shale, we had to go to Brezne. To, like Brezne. That wasn't very far, that was very close to us. And there was always shales, I don't know. Over here you buy the chicken, even the leg is broken, we're using it as here. But over there, if something was broken, we had to run to the shofet.
To Brezna?
Even to Brezna, take the chicken to Brezna.
2 hours away?
And sometimes the shochet was still there, and when he shared the chicken, so we right away looked, and something was wrong, we showed him. In Israel, we had only a shochet, and he was a rabbi and a shochet.
And what did you do? Who was the male?
The more we had, somebody came.
From Brezna?
From Brezna, yeah. A rabbi. I think the moil was about Vele also Ba'as, the Shishuna Yom Kippur. But my father was helping, always my father down. He was the only one who down, my father. Zaydiko was old, he couldn't do it, he had asthma, he was sick. My mother's father. So my father did it.
That was for the Abed. He was the Baltila.
Yeah, he was a very good Baltila, my father. But we hired a Baltila also for the Shishuna for Yom Kippur. From Brezna, somebody.
And a Baltikeya? Shofar? Also you hired?
That the thing, he did it. He the
Sheikhet?
This is Shoichet, the Baltila. Baltila did that also, yeah.
Did the girls go to shul?
Not really. They were davening at home. And I remember once, and the school wasn't far, and my mother was, when she davened, she get everybody, all the girls davened. And my mother heard something, she moved her arm, and she fainted. Shabbos in the morning, everybody's in the shul. The little girls, but the shul wasn't so far. My mother is over there on the floor, laying in the ice. So we ran to the shul. The girl, all of us, we left my mother laying over there. The shul wasn't far, and the whole shul came running. And by the time we came, my mother got out. She got hurt in her hand, and right away she fainted. So there must have been something, a big.
And she got up by herself.
Yeah, she got up. She got better, and she got up. She just fainted, and for a few minutes she was laying there.
So you didn't go to shul. You went probably from
I mean,
Megillah.
davened with the, to the Megillah line and to things like that. But we davened at home. Or Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur we went. We was, all of us went. We didn't have where to be. And the little one was staying probably with the shiksa. But the shiksa was sleeping over there. But she had a special bed in the kitchen. Like at daytime it was like a bench, and at the night we opened it and the bedding was there.
Yeah, the same person was always?
When we, before the concentration camp, there was one, her name was Yulka. This I remember the best. And before was the one who steal the money, so they sent her away.
She admitted it?
She had to, because the gendarme came and they couldn't find, and they mentioned only the goiter. They knew that she did it. My mother said she didn't do it. She cannot do it. She's a long time by us. She never did it before. So that this time she did it. The gendarme, she wanted to go away. Maybe she wanted to steal the money and ran away. And then it was so long that all day long they took her to the forest. And they told her if she's not going to tell where the money is, they're going to hang her over there. She wasn't afraid. But in the meantime, other gendarmes came to the house and brought a dog, a big dog, and the dog went to the stall, where the cows are. And it was over there with the head just on one place. He was just by one, he was doing it with the feet and didn't want to go from that place away. And so the John went and he tried to pick up a few pieces of wood, and there it was the money and a paper on it.
And then
But they took her anyway, they took her in the jail, and then after that, I don't know, her name was Hanya. I remember that also.
And then you got another.
And then you got that Yulka. Yulka was by us for a long time. She knew Moidiani, she knew how to make a moise. She learned that when the Rebbe in the morning was with the boys, she was saying with us. And my mother was in the store. She was a very good girl. She liked us very much. Every night when we went to sleep, she went to every bed and took the shoes and cleaned them in the kitchen. A happy girl, singing and cleaning all the shoes, and brought to every bed the shoes, covered us. And she was really like a mother. And then in 1939, when we took the store away, she went also away.
How old were you when World War II started?
It started in
30?
you think 1939 already?
Yeah.
In 1939, was I 17 years?
16.
Just 15?
16.
Or 16? Or maybe 16. In 1944, when I went to, I was 21 years old.
And 1930, but things were still in your town. When did things start
It
getting
started in 1939, the Hungarian came right away back, and they came and the Che went away. And they took right away Jewish people to Poland. They took them to the Dniester, and they threw them in the water over there, in the Dniester, in water.
People from your town?
From my town, yeah. They took my aunt and my uncle, they who had the business, what I told you, next to us. But my father...
What was their name?
My father was not in concentration, he was in a working lager. Before they took him to concentration camp, he was at called Hungarian Munkaszázat, a workplace where he was working. Labor camp, right. My father, in Zajdika and Babika, they took to the Dniester. They took them, and my aunt also, and my uncle, all the people. But because my father was in labor camp, they didn't take us. They a few more families like us, who their father was away, they didn't take. And they took him to the Dniester, to Körösmező was the name of that place, where the border was, and they threw them to the border, over there, to the big border. Dniester, that was a very, very big border, deep. And my uncle was hiding already, my mother's brother, and he heard that they're taking people away to the, to the Poland, to Körösmező. So he somehow came and tried to bring them home. He went to the Dniester. They got a letter from the doctor that they should bring them home, because my Zajdika had asthma, and Babika was taking care of him all the time. The boys were big already, and they did everything. They had the business. They took care of the business and of that bar over there, of that big one. So he sent my uncle, the gendarme, not the gendarme, was Hungarian people already, sent them, they should bring home Zajdika and Babika. Plus, they should take, if they have relatives over there, they should try to bring them back also old and sick one. So Zajdika and Babika, they went. The son came to pick them up, but he also wanted to pick up the aunt, my aunt, that was my Zajdika's sister and her husband. And she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go, she was staying over there, but just to throw them in the water. And he was begging and crying, but Tante, come home with us, Zaidi, we're taking home my father. No, I'm going to King Mashiach. So, she went to King Mashiach. And we threw them in, Zaidiko came home. And Babiko came home, but then Zaidiko wasn't too long.
So why didn't they want to come?
She said, my Zajdiko's sister, that my tante who had the business near us, she said she's going to King Mashiach. No, she's not going back. She's going to King Mashiach. So that's all, son. She went to King Mashiach.
But that if they had the letter, they would have let them leave?
He brought letters for everybody. He could bring home he should bring them home. All the old people, the sick, the relatives. Not only him, other people also. But she was stubborn, my aunt, she didn't want to come. And Zajdiko and Babiko came, but then Zajdiko, they didn't go home already to the town. But my mother had a sister who was called Perechin. And they had over there a business, radios and things, They weren't poor people. My mother's sister got married over there. So my Zajdiko and Babiko stayed over there with them. That time we lived already in Uzhhorod, in Ungvar, because when my father came home from that labor camp.
What year did they take him to the labor camp?
In
39?
In 1940 they took him, really. You see, in 1940 I was 17 years old, and I remember that time my father came, they sent him home from Lebanon. Soon he came home, the Hungarian people came. Right away, in days. They came home and they said we should pack and we should leave the town, the whole family.
And go where?
And
Just
go
leave?
and go wherever we want. So we went. You know, there were 5 kids and my parents. We went to Uzsora, to the capital.
Uzsora,
And
what's that?
Ungvar.
Ungvar.
Ungvar. And we hired. We
There
went-
things were better in Ungvar then?
No, it wasn't so good. My father wanted in any way with somebody in business, in a grocery business, not for too long. And we lived maybe 3 years over there, and then we went to they took us to concentration camp, 1944, to Auschwitz.